Imagine arriving in France. You've finally made the move. A new life awaits. But as you step into this new chapter, you're about to encounter a frustrating reality, a vicious cycle that seems impossible to break. You see, one of the first things you need when settling in France is a bank account. Seems simple, right? But there's a catch. To open a bank account, you need proof of a French address. And to rent an apartment, guess what? The landlords typically ask for, you guessed it, a French bank account. So, what are your options? Well, that's where things get interesting. Option 1, prepay rent. Some people decide to go for broke, literally. They offer landlords several months of rent in advance just to secure an apartment. It's a risky move, especially when you're new to the country and trying to navigate unfamiliar waters. But for some, it's the only way out of the loop. Option 2, the temporary address hack. Others go for a more creative solution, finding a temporary address. Maybe you crash at a friend's place and use their address to get that coveted bank account. Or perhaps you opt for a short-term rental, like a hotel or Airbnb, and use that address as proof of residence. But there's another, lesser-known route. Option 3, the paid service. Now, here's where things get really interesting. There are companies like offering Expanda or Courrier du Voyageur, what seems like a lifeline, a way to bypass this cycle. Virtual offices, co-working spaces, and mail forwarding services, all offering a French address for a price. They claim to solve the problem. For a fee, you can use their address to open a bank account, get your mail forwarded, and start your life in France. Before you can even enjoy your surroundings, you face the real challenge, navigating the French bureaucracy. You already worked hard to obtain a residence permit, titre de séjour, open a bank account, compte bancaire, and register for health insurance, sécurité sociale. It's a daunting process with many documents and procedures, and you have no idea where to begin. You quickly realize there's no way around it. If you want to live, study, or work in France, you need to handle the administrative procedures, démarches administratives. Whether it's applying for a long-stay visa, visa long séjour, dealing with the préfecture, or gathering proof documents, attestations for housing, logement, the immense paperwork is unavoidable. This is the challenge you must face head-on. To avoid mistakes, you start by organizing yourself. You create a document checklist to ensure you don't miss anything, and you scan all your papers into Google Drive or iCloud for easy access. Expats recommend having certified copies of everything, from your passport to your proof of address, justificatif de domicile. Staying on top of submission deadlines is crucial to avoid delays, so you set up digital reminders. With your file ready, you head to the préfecture for the first time. You bring your residence permit application, titre de séjour, ID photos, your proof of employment, justificatif d'emploi, and other essential documents. This first trip is intimidating because the officials are known to be strict about the paperwork. A missing birth certificate, acte de naissance, or incorrect pay stubs, fiche de paie, could set you back weeks. After submitting your file, you enter the world of French bureaucratic delays. The préfecture takes its time, and the waiting begins. Perhaps you receive a request for additional documents, like a missing work certificate or tax notice. In France, even a minor error can mean weeks of delays. You quickly learn that it's always better to bring extra documents, even those you might not think are necessary. Just when you thought you were on track, disaster strikes. Maybe the préfecture requests another document, or your visa is delayed. You might miss a deadline, causing a major disruption in your process. In a panic, you realize that dealing with bureaucracy is not optional. You reach out for help, but French bureaucracy moves at its own pace, and you're forced to remain calm and strategic. Finally, after what seems like an eternity, you receive your residence permit. Or maybe you've successfully opened your bank account. These small victories feel monumental because they signify progress in the complex system. With your official documents in hand, you can finally start to feel more settled in France. But you know that this is just one hurdle of many. Renewals, tax declarations, and health insurance registration still lie ahead. Now that you've passed some of the biggest challenges, you're settling into the system. You've applied for housing assistance, CAF, Caisse d'allocations familiales, registered for supplementary health insurance, mutuelle, and understand the process for residence permit renewal, renouvellement du titre de séjour. The bureaucracy starts to feel more manageable because you're familiar with its quirks. Having gone through the process, you now share your experience with others. You tell them about the importance of bringing certified true copies to every appointment and how to organize complete files for smoother interactions. You remind them that being unnecessarily volubly well prepared is the key to surviving French bureaucracy, and reminders are crucial to keeping track of everything, from tax declarations fiscales, to visa renewals. You're living more comfortably in France with most of the paperwork behind you. You've become familiar with terms like tax notice, avis d'imposition, proof of accommodation, and tax number, numéro fiscal. And you're confident in managing administrative documents. You know that when it's time for your residence permit renewal, renouvellement de titre de séjour, you'll be ready with all your properly prepared documents. As the video closes, you reflect on how far you've come. You've mastered the maze of paperwork, from residence permit applications to tax declarations. Now, you can focus on enjoying life in France, free from the constant stress of chasing documents. You can access below the free French Bureaucracy Mastering Guide, or check the full guide. See you soon.